into the politics of our neighbors, that we are seen today as a permanent stabilizing factor in our neighborhood, who have the ability across political divides to get along with all parties and all governments. And that's exactly the kind of neighborhood we are trying to create. We've had 2 stress tests in the neighborhood, one on COVID, where we proactively moved to provide vaccines and even economic assistance. And secondly, in the case of Sri Lanka, they had a particularly serious financial crisis. And if you look at the speed and scale at which we gave financial support to Sri Lanka, we have never done anything like that ever in our history. So where the neighborhood is concerned, I would therefore assert to you with a fair degree of confidence that neighborhood first policy has worked. It has built the kind of relationships and goodwill that we would like in the neighborhood. In many ways, it has also been advantageous both for our neighbors and for us. Our mutual economic exchanges have actually gone up significantly in this period. So that's the kind of report card I would present to you in the neighborhood. Just as China was an exception on the big stage, I would say Pakistan obviously is the exception when it comes to the neighborhood. Again, you know, it needs very little explanation. The fact is that, you know, we cannot allow terrorism to be normalized. We cannot allow that to become the basis for getting us into discussions with Pakistan. So I don't think, you know, to me it's a fairly common sense proposition. In fact, if anything, I'm still a little perplexed by why we had not arrived at this position earlier. But we have arrived at it now. And the issue really is that until there is departure from, and I would say an abrogation of this policy of cross-border terrorism, clearly it is not possible to have you know, the normal relationship with that particular neighbor. Now, going beyond the neighborhood, I would actually introduce to you the concept of what we call an extended neighborhood. And the extended neighborhood we see in all 4 directions. So I want you to really think of an India at a center. Then the first circle is the neighborhood. The second circle is the extended neighborhood. And there is a third circle, which is in a sense a world beyond, and out there are also the big powers. But the second circle in the 4 directions, one of course is Southeast Asia. What was the Look East policy became the Act East policy. It wasn't just a change of terminology. It also meant that we were prepared to invest more in connectivity. We were prepared to engage more deeply when it comes to security. So the ASEAN and beyond ASEAN, the Indo-Pacific, that is something which has really intensified. On the west is the Gulf. Now, the Gulf actually was, again, quite a discovery. I mean, in the sense that here is a region so proximate to us, and yet actually our political contacts with them have been incredibly conservative. And that is actually one of the big